Am I audible and visible? Am I audible and visible? Am I audible and visible? Okay, chaliye. So sorry, there was some technical problem. I hope you all are there and you all were eagerly waiting, right? Chaliye, thanks for waiting. Let's start with the wonderful session in concern to analysis, NTSE 2020 analysis, which has happened for approximately 1/3 of the states or places, and many more states and UTs are lined up, right? So if I count, it is around 10 to 11 in number jinka paper ho gaya hai, and if you are one out of those, I would say you are really very lucky, because now you are free from that tension that NTSE kaisa hoga. फिलहाल के लिए I would like to know, that is okay, cutoff. अरे भाई मैं सब बताऊंगा. I shall be sharing the cutoff also, I shall be sharing the answer key also, right? And I shall be telling you something in concern to that paper also, right? Every state, yes, this is every state. I guess 10-11 states, जिन भी states का NTSE हो रखा है, ये सभी states का combined analysis है, need not to worry. मध्य प्रदेश, okay. Jharkhand expected cutoff, need not to worry. We are starting with the analysis. Now I am moving on to the analysis part, but usse pehle, I want to know what is your expected score. You must have gone for matching with some of the answer key and you must have landed on certain score, right? So tell me that score. Also, if you are done with NTSE stage 1, there is a big surprise for you, which you all would be enjoying. So stay tuned till the end. Even if your state is done, if the analysis of your state is done, still stay there, because I would be going for around 2 minutes at the max per state, right? I would be explaining every state in 2 to 3 minutes. So be prepared, and accordingly, I shall be sharing the answer key also right at the end. So let's move on to the session now. Okay, fine guys. So first thing first, this is the analysis for all those states jinka paper ho rakha hai, right? So this is for all those states jinka paper ho rakha hai. So for all those who are watching, we are here because yesterday NTSE stage 1 has been conducted by NCERT. Now this is a very good move. It's a very morale boosting step from HRD ministry, that is at least few of the states were in position to conduct this examination. So that is awesome. Now this will actually propel the rest of the examinations also, rest of the states also, so that means isko finish kiya jaye, loop ko finish kiya jaye. There is one more good thing which has happened in past 1 week, that is your seniors, means all those students who are currently in +1 and had qualified NTSE stage 1 last year, right, whose paper was supposed to take place in the month of May in 2020 only, right, और वो पेपर नहीं हुआ था stage 2 का, that has also been declared, the notification is out and that paper is happening on 7th of February. मीन्स एक बहुत बड़ा क्वेश्चन मार्क था एनटीएसई स्टेज 2 के ऊपर उन बच्चों के लिए जिन्होंने स्टेज 1 क्वालिफाई कर दिया था लास्ट ईयर, बट उनका स्टेज 2 नहीं हो रहा था, एंड दैट इज हैपनिंग ऑन 7th of February, राइट? सो दैट्स अ गुड न्यूज. नाउ एज यू आर फ्रॉम अ स्टेट जिसका एनटीएसई हो रखा है, सो आई पर्सनली फील दैट यू आर नाउ डन विद ऑल दोज थिंग्स, but there are few things which you need to know, that is the learning part. Now, we are here with NTSE Marathon, which was continuously helping you for your preparation for NTSE. So, before I move on to the next one, if you are a regular watcher, if you have gone for all the lectures which were conducted in concern to NTSE this channel, maybe under Super Series, maybe under Marathon, then please post in the chat box and in the comment box that how much helpful was the preparation. I repeat once again, because we are here to help you out in your stage 2 preparation also. If you are a regular watcher of this particular channel, you were watching all the series, NTSE Super Series, NTSE Marathon, or individual puzzle box, anything else, right? So if that was good for you, do let me know, right? Okay, your examination is postponed. Very useful, very good. Okay, thanks for boosting my morale. चलिए अब analysis की तरफ चलते हैं, right? So NTSE exam learning. Now students, please, before I move on to the state-wise analysis, please pay 2 minutes attention to this. Now you are already done with your stage 1. If you are a 10th class student, you are already done with your stage 1 thing. What is to be done next? The first thing first, that is you must have felt that the paper was easy. The paper was easy, except here and there, जैसे दिल्ली में कुछ मैथ्स ज्यादा आ गया मेंटल एबिलिटी में, राइट? except those hiccups, if you see overall, the paper was comparatively an easier one. And believe me, you will realize after appearing in some other examinations that NTSE stage 1 is one of the most easiest competitive exam to crack. आप अगर उसको क्रैक करेंगे तो ऑसम है, वेदांतु इज देयर टू प्रिपेयर यू फॉर स्टेज 2 ताकि आपका स्टेज 2 पक्का हो. बट अगर आपका मिस होता भी है, स्टूडेंट्स, बिलीव मी, दिस फीलिंग ऑफ सिटिंग इन द एग्जामिनेशन एंड अपीयरिंग फॉर द एग्जामिनेशन एंड देन हैविंग अ फील, अरे यार मैं थोड़ा सा एसएसटी ज्यादा पढ़ा था, अरे यार थोड़ा सा बायो और पढ़ा होता, अरे यार मैं थोड़ा सा फिजिक्स अच्छे से कर रहा था. The moment you get that feeling that, oh, you have missed because of one particular subject, believe me, that will give you a push for rest all of your competitive examinations. That's why it was very much important to take part in NTSE. अगर आपने NTSE exam दिया है and you are having a feeling that, okay, boss, I could have scored much better if I was more focused to NTSE, then believe me, please keep up that spirit and use that spirit to crack upcoming any and every competitive exam. For example, अगर आप maths oriented हैं, then IOQM is coming up, and then IOQP is there. Many other Olympiads are lined up. You can target those. If you have not applied to those Olympiads, your next target will be your 10th class board examination. God knows कब होंगे, but you should be preparing well for that. And if in case you feel you are already done with your 10th class preparation and you want to do something new in concern to +1, right? You want to start early, then you are at the right place. Vedantu is about to start with something for all those who are done with NTSE stage 1. जिनका NTSE stage 1 हो गया और वो कुछ extra सीखना चाहते हैं for their +1 which is connected to 10th, we are about to launch something for exclusively for you, right? तो चलिए, let's means sum up this. If you are a student who has appeared for NTSE and you are clearing NTSE stage 1, believe me, I and my full team and the full Vedantu team will be helping you for cracking NTSE stage 2. This is our promise to you, right? If by chance you are a student who would be missing the cutoff by maybe 5 marks, 10 marks, 15 marks, then please go for the analysis that why you have lost that examination, right? If in case you would be losing, because it is very important to see that what was your weak area. Once you know that, then obviously you would be working on your weak areas in future. And if it was because of SST, believe me, need not to worry. Abhi SST stage 1 ka ho gaya. Now please focus the same for your board examination. तो फिलहाल के लिए अभी हम चलते हैं एनालिसिस की तरफ, right? Okay, so starting with the something important, that is so everyone knows that every state has got different seats. Every state has got different seats and every state has got different question paper. So a cutoff of one state will never be matching with the cutoff of any other state, that is for sure. Secondly, if the paper is an easier one, for example, if I start with the analysis, अभी सबसे पहले चंडीगढ़ आएगा, right? तो चंडीगढ़ पेपर जो आसान आया है, last 5 years में भी इतना easy पेपर नहीं आया. So that simply means the cutoff will be high. So if the paper was very difficult or it was very easy, again, it will be impacting the cutoff. It will be impacting the cutoff, right? So need not to think that you are from a state where the question paper was very difficult, so you are on the loser's end. No, it's not like that. If you feel you have got an advantage by appearing in the paper because the paper was easy, of course, it will be an advantage when you would be cutting the or you would be clearing the cutoff, right? तो फिलहाल के लिए आगे बढ़ते हैं एनालिसिस की तरफ और let's start with the first one. I'm starting with Chandigarh. Now, if you see, I've got all these question papers with me, right? Just a second. I've got all these question papers with me. I've got Uttarakhand. I've seen all those papers. ये सब आप कल देखे आए हैं. I've got Uttarakhand. I've got Uttar Pradesh. I've got Haryana. I've got Rajasthan. Every paper is with me. And believe me, now you are done with the paper. So need not to feel bad about that. Firstly, need not to feel bad about that because you are now done. Let's learn from that paper. Let's learn from that paper that if you have missed that paper, why you have missed that. If you will work on that thing, then only this analysis will be helpful. Because whatever cutoff I am telling you or whatever cutoff जो decide होगा, whatever you have done is done now, right? Let's suppose you are scoring 170, it will remain 170. Now, if cutoff lands up at 165, you would be clearing. If cutoff lands up at 175, you won't be clearing. You can't change that right now. But what you can do at your end is, you can utilize this time when you are already done with your 10th class preparation till your board examination, because these 3-4 months are very crucial. A person who works well in these 3-4 months gets the head start, और वो बाकियों को पीछे छोड़ देता है अपकमिंग हर कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम में. So let's have a look at the Chandigarh. Now, as you can see, Chandigarh मैंने थोड़ा summarize यहाँ पे किया है. Series, number puzzles, coding, decoding, blood relations, analogies, visual reasoning were mainly asked. Believe me, it was one of the most easiest mental ability exam I have ever seen in Chandigarh. इससे आसान पेपर नहीं हो सकता चंडीगढ़ का जो मैंने अभी तक देखा है पिछले 5 साल में. In SST, 5 questions were asked from deleted topics. And questions were solvable through options. अगर मैं SAT की बात करता हूं तो there were many questions in mathematics which were solvable through options, and I've been guiding you to use options. I don't know whether you have used those options or not, but it was very important to use the options, and it is not the story of Chandigarh. Believe me, out of these total 10-11 papers, question papers which I have gone for, there are more than 9 papers in which I have found out that there are more than 20 questions which were solvable using options. More than 20 questions, right? So I would be discussing those for all those जिनका पेपर अभी होना है. They would be appearing for their NTSE stage 1 or 2, right? It will be helpful for those, but for all those who are done with the paper, they are here only for analysis. I know that they want to know the cutoffs. So let's proceed. So this is the breakup of the paper. If I talk of Chandigarh paper, that is difficulty level SAT. Out of 100 questions, 65 were damn easy, right? Then moderate were 23, difficult were 12. If I talk of mental ability, 80 were easy. 80 questions were totally easy. In fact, if you are a good student and you are from Chandigarh, believe me, you must have solved this full math paper in less than 2 hours. That's for sure. आप पक्का कर चुके होंगे बड़े आराम से पूरा का पूरा पेपर, right? So 80 questions were really very easy. Moderate were 17 and difficult were approximately 3, not more than that, right? और वो difficult भी मैं इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ क्योंकि वो थोड़े से lengthy है. Now if I talk of the cutoff, 167 to 170, you can add plus minus 10 to that. Not minus, I would say, rather you should be adding plus 10 to this, plus 10 to this. Why so? Why I am looking for so high cutoff for Chandigarh? Because there are very less seats. There are very less seats in Chandigarh, so cutoff is always on the higher side. So 167 to 170 range which I am sharing is just a tentative range, right? We have talked to so many students, we have collected feedback from so many students, and then we have jotted down that this seems to be the range. But again, when I'm saying 170, if it touches 180, I won't be getting any surprise, because I know Chandigarh students are really very intelligent and they prepare really very well for NTSE examination. So if this cutoff moves on to 180, I won't be getting surprised, right? चलिए फिलहाल के लिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. Delhi, Math. So दिल्ली के पेपर पे चलते हैं. Math, it was mainly quantitative aptitude questions. Few questions were tricky. As per my overview of all the question papers, this is one question paper which I was always saying on the channel also that Delhi is a difficult paper, and it was a tougher paper as compared to any other paper. In mental ability, there were questions, a big chunk of questions, right, which was mainly quantitative aptitude. You may say they were mental ability, but they were maths oriented, right? And few questions were very, very tricky. Comparatively easy from last year. Last year के मुकाबले comparatively आसान था. As far as physics is concerned, the questions were direct and fewer calculations were there. Maths level was decent, between easy to moderate. Social science relatively easy as compared to last year, right, and as compared to other states. The only thing जिसके कारण लोगों को एक fight आया, that will be mental ability, because उसमें quantitative aptitude was dominating, right? Yes. Chali. So let's have a look at the cutoff. Okay, the paper pattern. So Delhi, if I talk of Delhi, SAT, I can say 60 were easy, 30 were moderate, 10 were difficult. If I talk of Math, that is again 65, 22 and 13. Now again, if you see, expected cutoff is quite similar to the Chandigarh one, because again it depends कि वहां का लॉट कितना प्रिपेयर करता है. एंड इन दिल्ली देयर इज अ बिग कल्चर ऑफ प्रिपरेशन फॉर NTSE. एवरी स्टूडेंट प्रिपेयर्स, एवरी 10th class good student prepares for NTSE. So there is a big fight, right? There are certain states in which the culture of NTSE is not that great. So handful of students prepare for NTSE, rest all only just appear for the examination. But in case of Delhi, people are really very focused, right? And that's why the cutoffs of Delhi and Chandigarh are generally on the higher side. And believe me, if you want to solve any good paper, pick this question paper, right? It will be available on our website also, right? Pick this question paper and solve it. You will get the feel. You will get the feel that wow, मजा आ गया यार, मेरे स्टेट से तो ये पेपर अच्छा खासा तेज है, right? फिलहाल के लिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So the cutoff is also there. So we are done with Chandigarh and Delhi. Let's move on to UP. UP, the largest state in terms of NTSE seats, right? SAT. Questions were direct and easy. Few questions of GK and SST were hard. Now, when I say GK, general knowledge, now that is something in concern to SST only. You need not to think कि उसमें general knowledge आता है. When we say GK, these are the questions related to state of that particular or that particular area, जो आपको पता होने चाहिए या आपको पता होंगे, right? मैथ पेपर एज यूजुअल वाज मॉडरेट विद जेनरिक क्वेश्चन. जेनरिक मतलब बहुत बेसिक क्वेश्चन थे जिनको पढ़िए, सॉल्व कीजिए, टिक कीजिए, आपको लगेगा अरे यार ये तो मैं बिना प्रिपरेशन के भी सॉल्व कर लेता. So that is the case of UP, and UP having so many seats, I guess around 1400 seats are there, and उसके अकॉर्डिंगली उसका कट ऑफ चलता है. बट बिलीव मी, व्हाटएवर आई एम टेलिंग यू, दिस इज फॉर जनरल कैटेगरी. दिस इज फॉर जनरल कैटेगरी. आई एम नॉट शेयरिंग कट ऑफ फॉर other reserved categories, so that will vary. Obviously those cutoffs will be quite lower than the general category. I am talking of the cutoffs for the general category, right? So let's have a look at the cutoff. Well, the cutoff is 164 to 167, right? And if you see the level, SAT 81 are easy, 81 questions are easy, and math 70 questions are easy. If you see, if you are good enough to pick easy questions, approximately 151 marks यहीं बन जाते हैं. 151 marks are sitting over here only, right? I am having the question paper also. मतलब मुझे question paper देख के मजा इसलिए आ रहा था because when I thought of picking some questions for analysis for solving UP paper, I was like यार ये तो सभी को आता है, ये इसमें क्या discuss करें अभी, right? It is like everyone would be knowing that answer. It was like that. But चलिए. And when I am saying difficult, now you need not to think that the questions were really difficult. If you are a focused student, you won't be agreeing to this that 19 were difficult. But when we say a question is difficult, we feel हाँ वहां पे थोड़ा सा relatively ज्यादा time लगा as compared to the other question, or maybe few students would be taking a wrong option because the options were close, right? So the cutoff stands in a range of 164 to 167, and believe me, if you are 170 above, if you have calculated your score for UP and you are 170 above, believe me, it is on the very safer side for general category. That's what I feel. I am not sure, right? But that's what I feel, and you can easily add 10 to this. 177 cut off जाए, 180 जाए, no surprises because seats बहुत ज़्यादा है, पेपर आसान है, जनता कैसा अटेम्प्ट करेगी. यूपी बहुत बड़ा स्टेट है, हमने जितने यूपी के स्टूडेंट से बात की है उसके अकॉर्डिंगली है. इट माइट बी अ केस देयर आर bunch of students who have done extremely well in UP paper, but then there are 1400 seats, right? So cutoff is comparatively less. Moving ahead, Rajasthan. So let's talk of Rajasthan. That is one paper where I have personally seen that means because of that coaching thing of Rajasthan, lot many students are focused and they target Rajasthan paper very well, right? So if I talk of SAT, questions of social science were asked from state board. तो बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन स्टेट बोर्ड से आए थे और मैंने आपसे कहा था प्रायोरिटी ऑर्डर में, whenever you are targeting NTSE examination, it is important to go through state board SST once you are done with the rest of the things. Few questions of physics were exactly same as that of the last year, so pick कर लिया. हमेशा होता है पुराने पेपर अगर आप solve करेंगे, it will always be helpful for you. So they have picked direct questions from that place. Then if I talk of math, the pattern was same as that of the last year. Means जितने question, I've got the full analysis. Means अगर आपके पास number series के 4 question आए, तो इस बार भी 4 है. It was quite similar to that, as if the pattern was given to someone who was setting up the paper and was told, please follow the same pattern. Means it was so similar to the last year paper. Was very easy to solve, right? चलिए देखें जरा क्या status है. Yes. So if I say SAT, 79 were really very easy, and then out of 21 questions, only 8 were difficult. Similarly, if I talk of math, 84 were easy. 84 were easy, and the difficult were 9. Right? And believe me, if you are not aware about the number of seats, डू वॉच द ओल्ड सेशंस, वहां पे मैंने आपको बता रखा है कि पुरानी कट ऑफ्स क्या गई थी और कितनी सीट्स थी. ऑल्सो यू कैन ऑलवेज विजिट एनटीएससी वेबसाइट, वहां पे पूरा आपको स्ट्रक्चर दे रखा है दैट हाउ मेनी सीट्स आर देयर फॉर योर स्टेट, right? And for all those who are watching, my request is you are now done with your NTSE. If you are done with your NTSE, you must have felt that the paper was easy, or you must have felt अरे बॉस थोड़ा और प्रिपरेशन होता तो पक्का क्रैक हो जाता. You must have got that feeling that अरे यार इतना आसान आता है पेपर, I could have easily cracked that, right? And I was telling you time and again that you would be getting that feeling, because I've talked to so many students yesterday and everyone was saying, sir, you were so right in telling that. पेपर देख के ऐसा लग रहा था अरे यार थोड़ा सा और पढ़ाते तो बेटर था, right? But it is always a lesson, and this lesson should give you a motivation to crack upcoming all competitive examination, and most importantly the next 4 months, that is pending December, January, February, March. How you are going to utilize those months, that is very important. If you are a focused student, you should be starting with your +1 for all those topics which are connected to 10th class, which will boost your 10th class, right? But if you feel you are lagging in certain subject and NTSE was pathetic, means आपको तो लगा बहुत मुश्किल है, then that means you need to work for your board examination. Please pay attention to that only. Need not to touch anything from +1, right? फिलहाल के लिए. So the cutoff ranges in the goes in the range of 168 to 74. Again, when I say so, you can add or subtract plus minus 10 to that, right? चलिए, people are saying something. Okay. मी तो गई. अरे कहीं कोई नहीं गया. Need not to worry. This was just the first examination, and under this corona thing, when you are studying at your place, you are not going out, you are not going to schools. Believe me, it is perfectly okay. Even if you lose this examination, I have no grudges with any of these students, because this year is totally an awkward year. But the lesson which you are getting from this attempt should stay in your heart and should stay in your brain. That is very important. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं असम की तरफ. SAT, no unexpected questions were there, and then was very easy. Math was between easy and moderate. Some questions were slightly tough, but overall a good doable paper, right? आसान पेपर था. Okay, expected cutoff again a similar range. SAT easier 74, moderate 15, difficult 11, right? And easy. Then if I talk of math, 42 were easy, 44 were moderate, and difficult were 14. Expected cutoff 168 to 172. And Assam is one area where I have seen many focused students, right? Because I get to talk to some of the students from those areas. Believe me, students are really focused, and the NTSE culture means building up in that particular state. लोग बहुत सारे ऐसे बच्चे हैं जो अब इन स्टेट से, ईस्टर्न स्टेट से एनटीएससी को अच्छे से फोकस करते हैं और वहां पे वो यूफोरिया बढ़ रहा है. Now, why I am saying so? When you would be attending the NTC stage 2 classes or the stage 2 series at this place, I shall be presenting you the breakup of the seats, that किस state से कितने बच्चे select होते हैं stage 2 में generally. The trend you will be seeing in you would be observing that the participation of this particular state is increasing, right, day by day. So that simply shows, because 8400 पूरे इंडिया से select होगा. अब उस 8400 से 2000 जब बनेगा तो वो 2000 कहीं से भी हो सकता है. It could be a case that out of 2500 from UP only, or maybe 20 are from Chandigarh only. All 20 Chandigarh students are cracking NTSE stage 2. So that varies from year to year, but I am talking about the trend, right? चलिए, so फिलहाल के लिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. Let's move on to मध्य प्रदेश. Now Madhya Pradesh, sad part, science was very easy. Of course, maths mushkil, SST was not that easy. But in maths and social science as well, very questions नहीं आएगा यहाँ पे. Okay, so in maths and social science as well, very easy questions were there, but some were really very tricky too. Right, so it was a mixed bag. मध्य प्रदेश का पेपर ऐसा ही होता है. I was unable to get anything unexpected out of this paper, and math can easily be done in 90 minutes, as I was saying, and only one question was difficult. Rest was a cakewalk. Means पूरे पेपर में सिर्फ एक ही क्वेश्चन था जो मुश्किल था. But generally भी मध्य प्रदेश का पेपर आसान आता है. When you people used to ask me, I used to tell you very frankly that मध्य प्रदेश paper, math paper is really very easy, right? So moving on to the cutoff. Well, cutoff is high because the paper is easy. You can see, if I talk of these easy questions, 187 questions are easy. 187 questions are easy. So it is quite logical that the cutoff will be high. I repeat once again, we all know that if the paper will be easy, the cutoff will be high. That's why it is on the higher side, 181 to 184. I repeat once again, Madhya Pradesh, why I am saying that this is the cutoff, because the paper was comparatively easy. और यहाँ तो मैंने फिर भी लिख दिया 2 क्वेश्चन, that is मैथ के, but believe me, सिर्फ 1 या 2 ही सच में मुश्किल क्वेश्चन है. And if you are a student who is still waiting for other examination, do solve this paper for practice. But your target should be कि आप इसको 90 minutes में पूरा करोगे. 1.5 घंटे में ये पेपर पूरा हो जाएगा मैथ का आपका. It bet me, right? So it's a good paper to practice, right? चलिए, let's move ahead. Maharashtra. So let's talk of Maharashtra. So SAT physics had some unexpected question. हमेशा होता है महाराष्ट्र में. मैं आपको पहले भी बता चुका हूं, महाराष्ट्र फिजिक्स का लेवल अच्छा रहता है. Was toughest after Haryana. If I talk of SAT in comparison, हरियाणा के बाद मुश्किल पेपर था. The questions were jumbled up. आगे पीछे थे सारे के सारे. They were not in order that you are getting one variety of questions of physics and then one variety of chemistry, one variety of biology. Math was toughest among any other states. The questions were lengthy. Any other states other than that is Delhi. Why? Because Delhi is quant oriented. Maharashtra is not quant oriented paper, right? Chaliye, people are saying okay. Fine. So let's have a look at the cutoff. So cutoff, bada state, seats zyada hain. So I guess I'm not remembering, but I guess 700 or 900 seats are there, right? Or moving on to SAT part, 60 were easy, 22 moderate, and difficult 18. You can very well judge that it was a very good paper, and it's a very good paper to practice also. So math, 61 questions easy, 25 moderate, and 14 are there which are difficult. Expected cutoff is approximately 159 to 62. For this, I would say you can add plus minus 5 because मुझे feel इसी के आसपास का आ रहा है कि शायद इसी के आसपास रहेगा. But still, I am saying plus minus 5, right? चलिए, so let's move on to Haryana. Haryana, toughest among every state in terms of SAT. हमेशा होता है, हरियाणा का पेपर अच्छे लेवल का होता है, right? Had some unexpected JEE level questions. यहाँ पे गलती है, mistake है. Chari. So, had some unexpected JEE level questions. Now, when we say JEE, I'm talking of JEE mains. I've told you many times that in Haryana, they ask you questions which are related to +1, right? For example, if there is a question you have to apply cosine law and you have not studied cosine law in your 10th class, then obviously you would be saying, अरे यार ये तो JEE level का question है. तो मैंने वही term यहाँ पे उठाया है कि ये JEE level का question है, मतलब ये mains level का, advanced level का नहीं. और JEE mains में भी बहुत आसान question आते हैं. In fact, if you pick those topics which are connected to your 10th class and you pick old papers of JEE mains, you would be in position to easily solve 5 to 10 questions. Bet me, right? So the question paper was in sets and then was of moderate level, was a bit time consuming. हमेशा हरियाणा का पेपर हमेशा time consuming होता है, no doubt about that, right? Moving ahead. Oh, sorry. Then moving on to cutoff. Now when I say cutoff, that is SAT, it's easy, 42 moderate, 35 difficult, 23. Math, 60 easy, moderate, 25 difficult, 15. Difficult means only lengthy. Cutoff, 149 to 52. This is the range and it may increase because seats are less. Seats are less in comparison to UP and Maharashtra because approximately 170-180 seats hain, as per my memory, you can check, right? That's why the cutoff is like that. Some people are saying, yes, अरे ऐसा कभी हो सकता है हम आपको छोड़ दे? NLX, we are continuing with NTSE preparation for all those जिनका अभी NTSE pending है. ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? आपको पहले दिन बोला था कि साथ नहीं छोड़ेंगे. So we are here. NTSE जब तक हो रहा है, we are here. Not only that, we are starting with NTSE stage 2 preparation also, in which the level will be comparatively higher side, will be on the higher side. So if you wish to watch those also, that will also be helpful to you, right? Now you are getting dual advantage because NTSE stage 2 is on for your seniors. So that's why stage 2 series will be there and stage 1 series will be there too, right? So double advantage. फिलहाल के लिए let's move on to the next one. छत्तीसगढ़, साइंस वाज वेरी इजी, हमेशा ही होती है. छत्तीसगढ़, आप में से किसी बच्चे ने पूछा भी था मुझसे in one of the session that how was छत्तीसगढ़ and I told you on that day also that Chhattisgarh is comparatively an easier paper. Maths was between easy and moderate. Few questions were tricky in math and could have been done in 90 minutes, right? So again, a paper which is not at all a lengthy. मतलब जो आसान है क्वेश्चन वो इतना आसान है कि आपने देखा, ऑप्शन को देखा और टिक लगाया. ये ऐसा पेपर था. So was an easier one. If you wish to revise this paper for all those जिनका पेपर अभी होना है, your target should be 90 minutes to complete this paper, right? चलिए अभी कोई कुछ झारखंड यू गॉट 181. अरे वाह, वेरी गुड. 181 तो सिलेक्शन हो जाएगा बच्चे आपका. चलिए फिलहाल के लिए छत्तीसगढ़, दैट इज सैट, इजी 61, मॉडरेट 30, डिफिकल्ट 9, मैथ 84, मॉडरेट 14 and difficult 2. So the difficulty level is less. Moving on to the cutoff, that is 162 to 164 is the approximate cutoff, right? Moving on to the next one, that is the next question. Oh sorry, क्वेश्चन बोलने की आदत पड़ गई आपको पढ़ा के, राइट? बट आज कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है, आज सिर्फ एनालिसिस है. मूविंग ऑन टू झारखंड. साइंस वाज वेरी इजी, नो सरप्राइजेस इन मैथ्स. बहुत आसान पेपर था, ओवरऑल भी आसान था. मैथ वाज वेरी इजी, इजीली डूएबल इन 90 मिनट्स. अगेन अ पेपर जो फ्रैंकली स्पीकिंग बहुत सारे अच्छे बच्चों ने 90 मिनट्स में कर लिया होगा और उसके बाद इधर उधर देख रहे होंगे कि भाई कहीं कोई गड़बड़ तो नहीं होगी, इतनी जल्दी कैसे हो गया, राइट? इट्स लाइक दैट. फिलहाल के लिए 181 इज गुड. यस, 181 इज गुड बच्चे, इट्स गुड, नीड नॉट टू वरी, right? So let's move on to the cutoff. So SAT 85, Math 83, moderate 7, and then Math moderate 9, difficult 8, and cutoff is 170 to 173. So even if I add 10 marks to it, I was always saying plus minus 10. Even if I add 10 to it, it will be 183. So those who were saying that they are at 181, believe me, it's a good score. 181, you have full chance to crack. You have full chance to crack. For all those who were posting 181, right? चलिए देखें और कितने स्टेट्स पेंडिंग है और कितना एनालिसिस मेरे पास है अभी दिखाने के लिए. लेट्स मूव ऑन टू दैट. उत्तराखंड, राइट? ब्यूटीफुल प्लेस, ब्यूटीफुल पेपर. Few questions of physics were exactly the same as they were in the last years. Few questions of maths were surprisingly hard. Surprisingly hard means उत्तराखंड का पेपर कभी मुश्किल नहीं होता, बट मैथ्स में उन्होंने थोड़ा लेवल ऊपर किया था, right? Math, the pattern was same as that of the last year. वही मिला जुला पैटर्न means if I talk of series तो उतने ही क्वेश्चन, if I talk of number puzzle उतने ही क्वेश्चन, blood relation उतने ही क्वेश्चन, right? And was easy to solve. Again an easier paper. ये पेपर अगर आप उत्तराखंड से हैं तो you could have solved this paper in approximately 1 hour 40 minutes types, right? उससे ज्यादा वाला पेपर नहीं था ये, right? पेपर आसान था, आराम से बन जाना चाहिए था. स्पीड की प्रॉब्लम किसी को नहीं होनी चाहिए इस पेपर में. मींस बहुत सारे बच्चों ने ये पेपर पहले से कर लिया होगा. आई रिपीट वंस अगेन, दिस वाज नॉट अ लेंथी पेपर. यू कुड हैव इजीली डन दिस इन अ शॉर्ट स्पैन ऑफ टाइम and you could have got enough time to revise your paper or to go for the questions which you were not in position to solve, right? And then people are asking question paper of this year. अरे भाई बता रहा हूं, थोड़ा सब्र रखिए. क्वेश्चन पेपर भी मिलेंगे, आंसर की भी मिलेगी, सब मिलेगा, right? But wait. So moving on to the cutoffs. So difficulty level SAT 75, very easy word I would say, right? And moderate 14, difficult 11. If I talk of math, 82 easy, 9 moderate, and 9 were difficult. And when I say difficult, this is because of either the wrong option, means कई questions में wrong option आ जाते हैं जिस कारण से हमें लगता है कि अरे यार ये क्वेश्चन मुश्किल था, मेरा नहीं बना. That could be a case. I'm not remembering कि इस पेपर में क्या गड़बड़ था, but I am in position to recall कि कुछ तो था मैथ में, but वो क्या था that I would be discussing in the in-length discussion of उत्तराखंड पेपर. But अभी के लिए the expected cutoff is 174 to 176. चलिए तो अब मुझे बताइए कोई स्टेट रह गया, कोई ऐसा बच्चा जिसका स्टेट मैंने नहीं डिस्कस किया. And बच्चे, I can't comment on the category cutoffs because they are so unpredictable. That all depends that in that particular batch how many category students are sitting. So I can't even, mean no one can imagine. If someone is telling you the category cutoff ना, frankly speaking, normally general category का भी cutoff बताना बहुत मुश्किल है. Because no one exactly knows. It is our gut feeling after solving the paper, after getting the expert advice from our team, we move on to these particular cutoffs. And believe me, it is not like a जैसे आपके पास इलेक्शन में होता ना जो एग्जिट पोल होता है. So it is quite similar to that. We talk to students, they tell us that okay, this was the paper, I have attempted this, and then we judge that okay बच्चे इस बच्चे का लेवल 150 क्वेश्चंस का था, ये 160 कराया. That means और ये 150 का स्कोर बनना चाहिए था, 160 बन गया. That means paper was easy, an easier one. That's how we calculate, and that's a simple scientific approach for predicting cutoffs, right? चलिए फिलहाल के लिए fine. So I hope I am done with all. अगर कोई रह गया, right? अगर कोई रह गया तो I would be covering that in the next session. I'm sorry अगर कोई state miss हुआ है यहाँ पे, because in 1 day span I was in position to collect all these things. But there is one more thing, my request for all those who are done with NTSE stage 1, because there is a big support from our side for them. Please read this very carefully. What it says, NTSE stage 1 feedback form. I know you would be thinking, अरे यार पेपर हो गया, अब क्या feedback देना? But there is something special. Read this carefully. Share your feedback and get NTSE stage 2 preparation batch for free for first 200 students. If you are a student who feels that you would be in position to clear the cutoff, तो आज के आज ये फॉर्म भरिए पहले 200 बच्चों के लिए जिन्होंने फॉर्म भरा ढंग से और उन्होंने NTSE स्टेज 1 क्लियर किया, उनके लिए NTSE स्टेज 2 बैच टोटली फ्री है, टोटली फ्री है, राइट? ओके, आई गेस आई हैव मिस समथिंग. Tripura, okay, miss is Tripura. No worries, I shall be covering Tripura. If that is a miss, need not to worry, I shall be covering that. Anything else? और कुछ miss हुआ? I don't think so. Sorry. If Tripura is miss, need not to worry. What I will do is, I will create a slide and I will post that in the comment box, right? I request Tripura students to do visit that, right? I request once again, and I am now moving on to the answer key part also, right? But please, बच्चे, please pay attention. Firstly, Tripura वाले, so उनके लिए I would say it's an exceptional case कि Tripura यहाँ पे miss है, right? But I would be covering up Tripura and I would be posting the if Tripura is done and Tripura is, क्योंकि मैंने पेपर नहीं देखा, frankly I haven't gone through the paper of Tripura, so if that has happened, right, I would be arranging the question paper and I would be posting the analysis, and if some other states are also pending, because in a span of less than 24 hours I could go for these much papers only. So this is a truthful analysis which I am giving to you. Rest is up to you, but if some states are pending, I would be going for one more session, or I would be posting the details in the form of slides in the comment box. You can go through those. फिलहाल के लिए अगर आप एक ऐसे स्टूडेंट हैं जिन्होंने पेपर दिया है and you have done really very well, or if you feel you would be clearing the cutoff and you would be requiring NTSE stage 2 support, then do fill this. Or otherwise, if you are happy with what you have done and if you are happy that Vedantu has supported you, then please give us some feedback, right? Because that feedback not only motivates us but helps us in guiding many people, many students who would be following your footsteps. Because जब आप अपना फीडबैक देंगे, जैसे मैंने अभी आपसे कहा एग्जिट पोल, इट इज प्योरली ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ एग्जिट पोल, राइट? तो ये बिल्कुल वैसा ही है. अगर आप फीडबैक देंगे तो हमें पता चलेगा कि क्या चीज मुश्किल आई थी, क्या चीज आसान आई थी. फॉर अ टीचर जनरली एवरीथिंग इज इजी, जनरली, right? But when we talk to students, then only we are in position to gauge that okay, this was tough and this was an easier one. Exception are those change in patterns or change in varieties or the wrong questions or the wrong options, right? तो फिलहाल के लिए we are moving on to the last thing for the day, that is the answer keys, and then we will meet again, right? In this week only with the continuation of NTSE stage 1 and stage 2 also, right? तो stage 2 भी शुरू हो जाएगा, stage 1 भी शुरू हो जाएगा इसी वीक में. But मैं ये देख पा रहा हूं बहुत सारे बच्चों ने अभी तक सेशन लाइक नहीं किया. भाई अगर आपको थोड़ा सा गाइडेंस मिला, थोड़ा सा बेनिफिट मिला, तो फिर लाइक करने से क्या शर्माना है? गिव मी सम थम्स अप, गिव मी सम स्माइलीज. पेपर हो गया भाई, अभी हम टेंशन फ्री है. नो टेंशन नाउ. पेपर जैसा भी गया हो, यू आर नाउ फ्री फ्रॉम दैट टेंशन of preparing for NTSE. But it's a good time to plan your next 3 months. That is pending December, January, February and mid of March. What you shall be doing in these months. If by chance this paper board examination gets postponed because of any reason, then what you would be doing? If you are already done with your 10th class preparation, then why not prepare something for +1 which is connected to your 10th class. And if you are losing this examination because of any reason, any one subject, please focus that subject. That could be social studies. If you are missing your cutoff because of SST, then please pay more attention to SST so that you score well in your board examination, right? चलिए फिलहाल के लिए अब इसको यहां पे एंड करते हैं, बट अभी एंड करने से पहले चलते हैं फटाफट आंसर कीज की तरफ. सो दिस इज द URL. Type this https tinyurl.com NTSE answer key 2021 and you would be landing up on the answer keys of all states, right? And then you can download those. I repeat, these will be available on Vedantu page also, right? But filal temporarily these are available over here, tinyurl.com/NTSE-answer-key-2021, right? So with this, I move on to the end of this session. I'm thankful for all those students who came even after their NTSE stage 1 examination to listen to this, right? And believe me, every such examination is a learning thing for us. आपने सीखा, हमने आपको पढ़ा के सीखा, right? तो आपने जो सीखा उसको कैरी ऑन कीजिए. इफ यू हैव लर्न समथिंग गुड फ्रॉम वेदांतु, डू पोस्ट द सेम, डू शेयर द सेम. देखिए, दिल में रखने का कोई फायदा नहीं रहता. इफ यू हैव गॉन फॉर सम ऑफ लर्निंग फ्रॉम आवर साइड, डू शेयर विद अस. हमारी टीम के लिए मोटिवेशन होगा, हम सबके लिए मोटिवेशन होगा, और हम उतना बेहतर आपको पढ़ा पाएंगे. And if you have felt that okay, there was something missing in the preparation, even then, most welcome. We are standing here for criticism also. You can always share your feedback. इसीलिए आपसे कहा है कि feedback form भरिए. You have got a feedback form. You can fill that. You can post in the comment box. But if you will be clearing NTSE, my salute to you. You are on your race. You have started your race towards the scholars. For all those who would be missing, need not to worry. There are many races to run. It is always a learning. And NTSE is the biggest learning paper because that happens in 10th class when there is nothing to lose. कुछ नुकसान तो नहीं हुआ ना. अगर NTSE नहीं बना तो नुकसान कुछ नहीं है. हो गया तो स्कॉलर का टैग लगेगा. But learning will be lifetime. Whatever you have learned by sitting in that examination, that you would be carrying for the lifetime. So with this, I move on to the end part, right? So bye for now. Take care and keep on learning at Vedantu.